and welcome to Magical Travel Adventure. I am Lauren, your host, and today I am here talking about Genie Plus. This is like the most asked question and the hardest thing to maybe talk about because it changes all the time. Now, I have a previous video where I kind of go through some of the basics of Genie Plus, Genie, and individual lightning lane. So you can go back and check that out. But this video is kind of talking about some strategy for you and some just advanced, maybe not advanced, but just some changes that have come with Genie Plus over the last couple of weeks. And what I will say is Genie Plus has taken over. There's no more Fast Pass at Disney World or Disneyland. Genie Plus is the new thing. And it is a paid service to get front of the line access in lines. It's different in Disneyland than it is in Disney World, so this is all going to be focused on Disney World. But with Genie Plus, there are about 40 rides that are included in the list that you can use your Genie Plus through in the 4 different parks. There are also individual lightning lanes, which are a separate purchase that you can get when you're at Disney World. So let's go over that a little bit. And if you don't know, I am also a teacher. So when I make things, I make them like a teacher would make them. And if you haven't been in school for a long time, I hope that this Venn diagram brings back some great memories for you. So Genie Plus is $15 per day per person, and you can only purchase it that day. So starting at midnight of that day, or 12:01 a.m. of that day, you can start purchasing Genie Plus. Now, there are so many rumors out there that Genie Plus could sell out. It's never sold out before, so I don't think that you need to get up at midnight to purchase Genie Plus. I think that you are fine if you wake up at 6:50 a.m. and purchase it then. And you can purchase it for just yourself, or you can purchase it for every person in your party. But unless you have that Purchase Genie Plus, you cannot use that Genie Plus service. The cost for individual lightning lane, which is about 1 to 2 rides in each park. And it's typically the most popular rides in each park. Currently, like at Epcot, it's for Guardians of the Galaxy. And at Magic Kingdom, it's at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Sometimes there are 2 that are included. Disney loves to change it. So it's changing all the time. And they will give a range of dates that this is what it is for these available dates. And so what we have right now is through August. So we don't know after August how they are going to change the Genie Plus system yet, and which rides will be included in Genie Plus and which will be in individual lightning lane. I know, right? Can they just make it easy for us? No. Well, with that, individual lightning lane, the cost per person is $9 to $17 per person per ride. So if I want to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, the price might be something different than if I want to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. And maybe only 2 people in the party want to ride Guardians of the Galaxy, so I don't buy it for the other 2. You can do that for individual lightning lane. You don't have to buy it for the whole party. Now, with Genie Plus, you can get as many as you want. So let's say you make your first selection at 7 a.m. Great. Then whenever you can make your next selection, you can keep doing that and keep doing that all the way until the end of the night. With individual lightning lane at 7 a.m., the maximum that you can make is 2 individual lightning lanes for 2 different rides. So one person can have 2 different rides with individual lightning lane. So that's your max. And you can make both selections at 7 a.m. And you can also kind of choose your time. We'll talk about that a little bit in a second. But so individual lightning lane, you can have that all set up by 7:02 a.m. But Genie Plus, you can only make 1 selection at a time. And once you've used it, or if 2 hours have gone by and you haven't used it, you can make another selection. For Genie Plus and individual lightning lane, if you are staying on property, you can choose them both at 7 a.m. If you are off property, you can make your Genie Plus selection at 7 a.m., but you cannot make your individual lightning lane selection until the parks open that day. So just make sure that you understand that if you are staying off site. With Genie Plus, you don't get to select your time. It's whatever the next available time is. At individual Lightning Lane, you can choose your time if it is available. And of course, Genie Plus, like I said, it is one at a time. So you can only choose one at a time. It's not like the 3 that you had before with FastPass. Now, what do they have in common? That's that middle part. There's my teacher coming out in me. You can use Genie Plus and individual Lightning for park hopping. So you could buy an individual Lightning Lane if you have a park hopper ticket. You could, maybe you'll buy Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for the morning, and then Guardians of the Galaxy in the afternoon when you park hop over to Epcot. Same thing with Genie Plus in the morning. If you aren't going to a park, or let's say you're starting off in Magic Kingdom and you got Peter Pan first thing in the morning, and then you're like, well, I don't really need it for anything else here. I want to start making it for Epcot when we go over to Epcot. You can try to get it for like Soarin', Test Track, and all those others that are a possibility. And as long as it's for after 2:00. So you can use it for park hopping. You can find all the information about Genie Plus and individual Lightning Lane, like the times and all that, on the tip board, which I'll show you in a minute. And you're choosing them both. You can make your first selection at 7 a.m. as long as you are staying on property. And when you park hop, every selection at this point, because park hopping doesn't start until 2 p.m., all your selections for Genie Plus and individual Lightning Lane for park hopping, or your second or third park, need to be after 2 p.m. The system kind of forces you to do that, so I don't think you have to worry about that too much. But when you're looking at this is the tip board. And as you can see, this first one is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So this is your individual Lightning Lane. And so see how it says individual Lightning Lane, purchase for $10. So if you want to buy it, that is what it looks like. That's what the individual Lightning Lane is. When it's just part of Genie Plus, which is those 40 plus rides, this is what it will look like, and this is the next time experience. So I can click this and book it for my next experience. Now, with all of these selections also, you can only do it once a day. So you can only get one individual Lightning Lane for, Flight of Passage a day. You can't do 2. You can only get onto Space Mountain with Genie Plus once a day. You can only do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train with individual Lightning Lane once a day. So you get one option. If you choose to cancel, then you don't have that option to even use that one for another day. If there's a problem in the parks, there are these people with these blue umbrellas that are customer service. They're cast members that can help you. Now, to get into your tip board, you're going to go into your My Disney Experience app, and at the bottom here, you're going to go down to these 3 lines. I don't know why people call this a hamburger. It's 3 lines. That's what it is. And you're going to click on that. And then this interface, the order of this is going to change all the time. So I cannot guarantee that this is what it's always going to look like. But the tip board is typically the first spot when you look there. And you can also check in on My Disney Day, but they are both in the same spot. So when you click into your tip board, this is what it looks like. And it says Disney Genie Plus purchase for today. So you can just click on that at 6:50 a.m. and purchase it for the day. If you have a credit card on file, it will automatically try and pay through that, but you can pay using a gift card. You just have to type in the number every single time. And you can also pay with your Disney reward points. Again, you have to type in your number every single time. I have done it on both and have never had a problem with it. So you can do it that way too. So once you go into the purchase part, this is what will come up. It's, these are the services. Do you want this? Then you select the people in your party, and then it will give you the dates that are available to you. You can only pick that one day. You can't future buy Genie Plus for days in advance. You can only buy for that specific day. It used to be a thing, but Disney took that away. So now you can only buy that day of. Now, In the morning when it's 7 a.m. and you are making that purchase, or if the park has not opened yet, you will not see anything for a standby line time. Like it's not like the wait is 30 minutes because it's not open yet. What it is showing you is when is the next Genie Plus selection available for that ride. So if you can get Slinky Dog Dash, then you're going to want to click on that because Slinky Dog Dash is hard to get. So you're going to want to click on that and book that experience so that you can get it. But that's showing you what time it is. So it's not that you get to pick a time anymore. You have to go with whatever the next time is. Now, again, I am showing this to you again that if it's an individual Lightning Lane experience, you're purchasing it for $10 on top of that Genie Plus selection. Or if you just don't want to buy Genie Plus at all for the day and you only care about these individual Lightning Lanes, you can buy them. You can see what the wait time is here, that I showed that differently. So this time it's 90 minutes, or you can purchase it and just come back and ride it at 6:40, up to you. Same thing with Space Mountain. The wait time here is 65 minutes, or you can get that Genie Plus selection and return at 3:40. It kind of depends on what time of day it is. So I have no idea when I did this, but that's just something for you to know. Now, something that has changed recently is that changing the park. So you'll automatically come up now to the Magic Kingdom, and that's fine. To change it, if you're going to Hollywood Studios for the day, you just have to go up there and click change park. Yes, it's going to take you a second, but guess what? It's taking everyone a second. So don't be concerned about that part. Now, up here, this is where we have been the whole time, is in the tip board. You can also come over here to My Day, and this will show you your different Genie Plus or Lightning Lane selections. So as you can see up here, it says individual Lightning Lane. When I went or took this snapshot of this picture, Mickey's Runaway Railway was under individual Lightning Lane. So I purchased that, and it will say that it's an individual Lightning Lane. And this is my return time. And it's going to say that I have overlapping times. And it's fine that you do as long as you're in the same park. Then I have my Slinky Dog Dash one. And here it's going to say that that's my Genie Plus selection. So I got that through Genie Plus. And this is my return time. And it says you have overlapping time. No problem. Don't worry about it. Genie Plus Lightning Lane. Again, now I have Toy Story Mania, and this is the time that I have. So if I forget like what times I'm supposed to be coming back, then no problem. I will just go and check in. I go to my tip board and click on the other side, and it will show me these. And I know you're all going to ask me, Lauren, how did you get all this stuff all back to back? And I will tell you a little strategy that I did. So I believe that this was back in February when I was there. And what I did is I was park hopping to Hollywood Studios. So the first park that I went to, I did not use Genie Plus. I probably did. I probably was at Animal Kingdom in the morning and just did individual Lightning Lane for Flight of Passage, and then was coming over to do Hollywood Studios at 2 o'clock. So at 7 a.m., I went in and got Slinky Dog Dash, and it wouldn't let me do it at first because the times were so early. So I had to keep refreshing and getting it. And eventually I got 2:30. So I got that. Then I went in and bought my individual Lightning Lane for Mickey and Minnie's. And I knew what time Slinky Dog Dash was. So I tried to make it around that time. So bought that. Now, after Hollywood Studios opened at 9 a.m. that day, I waited my 2 hours from park open. So I waited from 9, 10, 11. At 11 a.m., I was able to go back in and make another Genie Plus selection. If it's more than like my Slinky Dog Dash is for 2:30. Since it's more than 2 hours past when I can use my first selection, I am allowed to make another selection in Genie Plus. So I made it for Toy Story Mania, And it just happened that I could make it for 3 o'clock that day. So then I was able to get these all in that order. It's okay if that sounds very advanced or too hard for you. Don't worry, that you can just focus on getting these two things, and that's fine. So let's talk a little strategy here. If I am trying to do this, I want to buy Genie Plus every morning before 7 a.m. So I could just do it on my phone. I could just use the credit card that I have on file, and then I don't really have to think about it. It probably takes about 30 seconds to do it. So you go on the tip board, say you want to buy Genie Plus, go through the prompts, pick the people, pay, done, you're all set. Then I would have a clock set up that has seconds so that you can see exactly when it turns 7 a.m. And exactly at 7 a.m., you want to click into that tip board, choose whatever park you're going to, and click your first selection. If you have two people in your party that have their own My Disney Experience account that are linked together, I would suggest that one of you works for individual Lightning Lane, that paid one, if you're trying to get it, and the other person to work on Genie Plus. You need to have separate My Disney Experience accounts in order for that to work. Now, if you cancel, let's say you're like, oh, that's not the time I wanted for Slinky Dog Dash, and you go to cancel it, you cannot get Slinky Dog Dash again for that day. So what I would suggest is take that time and just bring it to a cast member later on and see if they can help you, or go to the attraction and see if they can work with you a little bit there. A lot of people ask about dining, like, oh no, the time I got overlapped with my dining reservation. Which one do I go to? You can either go to the line and say like, hey, my dining reservation is also at 2 o'clock. Can I come back later? And typically they will say yes for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's what I would do. You can also go to any of the people that are in the blue umbrellas in the parks. They are specifically there to help people with Genie Plus. Their guest services, they're fantastic. Yes, I have visited them often. The ride offers change for Genie Plus and individual Lightning Lane. So it's super important that you check that before you go, or if you have a travel agent like myself, I send you that information so you know, because it does change often. I try to, I try and announce it on my pages and things like that, but it's really hard when you're traveling and you don't always know what's going to be offered. And I would say that the individual Lightning Lane does cost extra. So it can really, really add up fast if you're buying Genie Plus and individual Lightning Lane for that day. And it kind of depends on how you think about it. I think about it as it's saving me time, and I have a toddler, and anything that will make my life easier, I am going to pay for it. Other people, they just don't like the idea of having to pay extra for their vacation. And there are strategies that you can do if you don't want to pay for either individual Lightning Lane or Genie Plus for the day. If you really want to do the attractions that are individual Lightning Lanes, I just say try and do them first thing in the morning. If you have that early entry, or if you can do them super late at night, that would be my big strategy there for you. Before you go, you really want to be familiar with the app. You want to be in My Disney Experience, know how to get to my tip board, know how to purchase your Genie Plus selection beforehand, just so you can get familiar with it and understand where all the pieces are, or that you can ask questions if you have a travel agent beforehand so that they can answer them. Another thing is you should have a plan in the morning before 7 a.m. on what you want to get each day. And below I have a resource that should help you. It has each of the parks and all the rides and their stars to show you what would be a Genie Plus or individual Lightning Lane selection. And this kind of helps you in the morning, so you know what is the priority for everyone in the morning. So you're not trying to figure it out or check times or be like, oh, well, we have this time for this and this time for this. Which one do you want to do? Just have it all planned out beforehand each day, what you're first to. If you're going to do individual Lightning Lane, and if you're going to do Genie Plus, have those selections ready to go for you at the very beginning. And the last thing I'm going to tell you is if it shows no time, so sometimes it will show you no time. Here, let me try and see if I can stop sharing for a second and show you on my phone. So sometimes it won't show you any times. And um, so in the morning, it'll look something more like this, that, the standby line is not offered and Disney Genie Plus is at 7 a.m. Sometimes it won't even show you a time. It'll just say, like, click here to find more times. You're going to have to click there to find the times. It seems to be a new thing, but that could fade away. So that's why, like, trying to describe Genie Plus to someone for the future is kind of hard because it's changing all the time. But what I will say is that I've used Genie Plus since it started. I was there about a month after it started and used it, and I think it's definitely improved. There are tons of strategies out there on how to use it. The problem with the strategies is it's based on popularity of rides and not necessarily maybe the rides that all your family wants to ride. And that's why I made that resource below for you, because you need to figure out what it is that is your priority. And if you have if you only have checked Genie Plus selections, you might want to consider getting Genie Plus for that day. Or if you have no individual lightning lanes checked at all, like when I have my son, there's very few individual lightning lanes that I need to purchase because he doesn't ride a lot of the faster pace and popular rides. So I don't really have to worry about that. I still might purchase it just for myself, but that's about it. So, okay, that will do it for today's show. I hope you enjoyed and got some good information about Genie Plus and individual lightning lane and how it works to help you with your trip. Again, I am Lauren. I'm a travel advisor. My information is below if you would like to use me, and I will see you next time on Magical Travel Adventure. Bye.